This week, we discuss Twitter launching NFT verification for profile pictures, and Meta announces NFT integration for Facebook and Instagram. Also, the fashion brand Hermes sues the creator of the Meta Birkins NFT project over trademark infringement. Then, we discuss the Metaverse. It's coming whether you like it or not. I'm Keys, and welcome to NFTs with Keys. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell for all that NFT news you need. Also, comment below. It helps us out. Share with everyone. And thank you to all the subscribers. Again, we like to just thank you guys. We love you. So yeah, hopping into it. Sure, everyone out there in Twitter that uses Twitter has noticed that Twitter has launched NFT verification for profile pictures.
Of course they have. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, no.
What were we talking about this, a few shows ago? Makes sense.
Well, it's because they mentioned that they were going to do this, and I think the concept behind it is kind of cool, or not necessarily cool, but needed because it's a way to stop people who are just right-clicking and saving, well, they say it'll stop that. Or that was the whole thought of it. But anyways.
Yeah.
So it went live on Friday last week. The concept is so that people won't be able to steal your NFT profile picture. And it's a way for you to basically just flex that you have a Bored Ape. If you have a Bored Ape, that's really what it is.
Well, I mean, at what point do you stop at like PFPs though?
No, it's not just PFPs. It's NFT. So you can do it even just with any NFT you buy.
I get that, but at what point does the verification thing? How does it know that? Do you have to tell it? Oh, my thing's an NFT. It's an NFT.
We'll get
okay,
there.
Cool.
We'll get there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And this is part of my concern with it, or the concern. I shouldn't say just mine. It's not just mine. But so there's some downsides to it. The first downside is that you have to connect your wallet to Twitter.
Okay, obviously this makes sense to me.
Yeah, but also, that makes some people hesitant to connect their, crypto wallet to a social media site.
As they should. These are smart individuals.
Yes. And you also have to pay $2.99 because you have
$2.99 of what?
Money.
Which money?
Fiat.
Oh, okay. We gotta understand. We're on the NFTs.
Yeah,
the NFTs with Keys here.
Yeah.
$2.99 can be a very big number here.
That is very true. That's Eve. That sucks.
But
yeah, no. Basically $3. $3.
Okay.
But the reason is because you have to join Twitter Blue.
Twitter Blue.
Yeah.
Twitter Blue. Of course, there's.
So and it kind of makes sense. So Twitter clearly saw a way to grab a bunch of money from the NFT community because what's $3 doesn't matter.
Seemingly.
But if you get a few 100,000 people doing it, that's a pretty cool profit because people are like, oh, $3, why not? And some people might even be like, oh, I was thinking about upgrading to Twitter Blue, even though it just gives you stupid things. It doesn't really.
It allows me to put my NFT on display and really get that clout that I've been looking for.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man.
So again, I don't think the fee is necessarily a bad thing. It is what it is, and I don't know if it's a monthly fee. That would be such bullshit. But if it's
right on par with what Twitter wants to do, let's be honest here.
Yeah. So I wouldn't doubt it, but I haven't actually looked into that because I have I don't want Twitter Blue. I don't care. But yeah, so I think it's the connecting the wallet that makes me uneasy personally, and I think it makes a lot of other people feel uneasy. And honestly, I do think it's a smart way considering Twitter is pretty much the main hub for the NFT community to communicate with each other.
It's interesting you say that because I'm starting to realize I think it might be that and what's that? A Telegram might be like the two main things that all these
Telegram is basically, from my understanding, it's pretty much Tumblr but for articles.
It's like a communication platform. I don't know.
I think it's Medium. Things. Is it Medium or Telegram or both?
Telegram's just it's a messaging app.
Yeah, but it's like something you can post like articles and other stuff and
I never dug too deep into it. But I'm noticing even my producers now, not with us because he's lost in the Twitter sphere. He got into those Twitter Spaces, guys. Stay out of those Twitter Spaces.
He got the vid. Stop lying. He got the vid.
Hey, whoa! Let's not throw those accusations out there.
Anyways, I get what you're saying though but so Twitter is supporting a few wallets at first. the wallets that they're supporting for this verification for NFTs is Argent, Coinbase Wallet, Ledger Live, MetaMask, Rainbow, and Trust Wallet. There has been some concerns about the verification process. Twitter's setup and hexagon logo only checks to see if there is an NFT connected to the user's wallet.
Of course.
So it doesn't really check or tell viewers if that NFT is verified as belongs to a high-profile collection. So it's not necessarily telling you, oh, hey, this one belongs to a Bored Ape. It's just saying, hey, this one is an NFT. So the theory here is, and this was my first thought too when I read that, was you can still right-click it, save the image, mint it, put it in your wallet, and then Twitter's going to verify it because it's an NFT in your wallet. So it doesn't really stop that like verification process, except you do have the ability to look up the NFT from Twitter. So like you can click on it and it'll say like look up the data or whatever, the metadata, and it'll send you to Etherscan and it'll show you that no, that's not part of Bored Ape.
Okay.
So the right click crowd are some savvy people. Think about that. They already came up with a way to supplant the whole reason that they're doing the verification process.
It's because Twitter didn't put any real time and effort into this.
But do you know what's even better about this? Those right-click people are spending $3 a month just to steal a Bored Ape.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Twitter didn't need to put any real time and effort into any of this because... Like at the end of the day, they don't care. But they do care, like the rest of these industries, in getting their piece of the NFT. I mean, people are going to have them. People are going to trade them. Yeah. People are going to want to show them off. Why can't I, the most publicly used, social media, skim a little off the top? People are moving. They're called profile pictures for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. So... yeah, I do think it's kind of funny that the right click crowd pretty much already figured out a way to get around it, but overall, I do think that the verification thing, I think it is a good idea, and I think it is just step in the right direction. I feel pretty uneasy about linking my wallet, but I guess if you really want to, you don't mind the $3 a month or $3 or whatever it is, and you really want to, flex your NFT you have on Twitter, you could always just open up a new wallet and then transfer that NFT there, and then you just use that so you're not at risk of really losing any of your actual crypto in your crypto wallet. So if you really just want to do that, I guess. But that just seems like a lot of work for no reason, and you'd probably be spending a lot in gas.
Oh, God, the gas fees. That's right. Oh, well, that's not a problem I need to worry about.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, man.
I get it. You love ADA, but what's the price at right now today on Saturday?
You mean
$1 under $1? No, it's $1.05.
It's like the red Saturday, man. Take a look at everything. In fact, buy Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. Buy some Bitcoin.
Buy anything right now.
It's real cheap, extra
not
cheap
anything.
Today.
But buy Ethereum, buy Bitcoin.
The time of filming, it's extra cheap. I don't know what's gonna happen when this is released, but right now, crypto is at an all-time buying low.
Yeah. If you have the disposable income, go buy. This is not financial advice. Actually, no, that is a financial advice. Go
do one of those Bitcoin rain dances where we dance around and hope the price goes back down to 10K so we can all go in on a Bitcoin.
Yeah, and then it goes up to 100K.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. All right, we're getting a little distracted here. In some other social media company news in the NFT sphere, Meta announces that they're going to do NFT integration for Facebook and Instagram.
Yep. Yep, absolutely.
Sorry, I tried to say that with more enthusiasm, but that just kind of hurt my soul. But we all knew this was coming. Yeah. According to a report, Meta is working on allowing users to mint collectible tokens. So they mean NFTs, right? Is Facebook or Meta going to ruin NFTs right now?
Pokemon cards.
That they'd need the licensing.
I know, I get it. But I mean, who wouldn't give it to Meta at this point?
It wouldn't go to them. It'd probably go to Vivi first.
But...
because they own so many licensing.
Yeah, but...
just like that Spider-Man NFT I bought for like $40 is now worth like
Meta has
over
access to the Oculus, right? That's...
okay.
Now let's say...
It's easy to... of course they're going to enter NFTs because they're doing the whole metaverse stuff, and NFTs are going to play a big part in that.
Right, and exactly. So like, let's say metaverse plus Yu-Gi-Oh cards plus 30-something-year-olds equals yes, please. You know what I mean? Like, that could happen so easily.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And like, we're talking real Yu-Gi-Oh. You're not that like what we all imagined as like kids. You like
watching
big
the
dragons.
Anime.
You know?
Yeah, we're watching the anime.
Half naked magicians.
Yeah.
The Yu-Gi-Oh we know and love.
It's funny, at my work, there's a guy with the username Dark Magician Girl.
This is the way.
And yeah, like I laugh because I've talked to this guy on the phone and he sounds like he's in his 40s. It's kind of weird. But anyways, moving on. So basically they're talking about NFTs, and Meta also is discussing about creating a marketplace to buy and sell NFTs. So another marketplace on there. But again, it makes sense because of what Meta's kind of their goal is at this point, is to create this metaverse and to make it the town square of metaverses, I guess, because, you know, Facebook is the town square essentially of all social medias next to Twitter, you know. So it was bound to happen with Meta trying so hard to build that metaverse. And honestly, it really, I don't think it's a big shock that Meta and Facebook and Instagram are going to start doing NFT stuff. I'm surprised they didn't do it earlier for Instagram, considering they
didn't want to jump on the bandwagon until it was a bandwagon.
Yeah. And that kind of makes sense, but it's like that's the perfect platform for NFTs when you really think about it. You're talking about just pictures.
Yeah, no
JPEGs.
One's going to want to touch NFTs for something that seems to be like when it's in its 15 minutes of fame. But now we're here. Now industry is being created, and it's becoming out of hand that now we got to say, oh, we're going to change the name of our company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So again, I think it wasn't a big shock, and the people working on the project and other people, it's still in its infancy. So they say it could change. I don't think it would change, but you know, let's be honest. I mean, who knows? Maybe they don't make a marketplace. They could. I mean, conspiracy theory here. They could maybe buy an existing marketplace and integrate it into Meta's sphere of Facebook and Instagram. I mean,
you know, why wouldn't that makes total sense? Why recreate the wheel if it worked for Apple? I mean, come on.
Yeah. And I mean, sure, you know, honestly, people are going to say like, you know, what one would it be? I mean, obviously it'd probably be OpenSea. And if OpenSea did sell, people are also going to be like, well, it's going to cost billions of dollars. It's like, well, do you not watch the news, or maybe this wasn't in the news, but Microsoft just bought Blizzard Activision for $68.7 billion with a B.
Rip Blizzard. Actually, you know what? There might be hope. I might be able to play as Master Chief in the next release to World of Warcraft.
Yeah. And then I also did, anyways, a little side note with that one. I heard that they're going to stop doing Call of Duty games every year.
Oh, thank God. Wow, my prayers have been answered.
Yeah.
Where's my book? I can check that one off.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then there's also talks, because what Sony also said too is right after they announced the buyout and stuff, Sony is like, well, we hope that Microsoft will still hold to the agreements that was being held with Blizzard Activision to release games on both platforms. And Microsoft basically was like, yeah, we're not going to change anything. We just wanted to own them. So now Blizzard Activision might be able to get out of all their stuff, and the guy who's the head of Blizzard Activision is actually like
stepping down.
Yeah, he's stepping down once the buy is complete. So, anyways, moving back on. So basically, Meta, you know, could essentially buy out a marketplace like OpenSea, so it's not really that big of a leap. Also, Meta was pushing for a big hiring push recently, and I don't want to say stole, but took a lot of engineers and other stuff from Microsoft. Even Apple was being threatened, and Apple offered like $150,000 for their employees, or like $70,000 to $150,000 bonuses to stay, plus stock options, because Meta was hiring for basically trying to steal these engineers and stuff. So Meta is really trying to make this stuff happen. So it's gonna happen. It's inevitable.
Yeah, I know. I know. I've been saying this for months.
Yeah, and so moving on to something else that kind of just irritated me, and I don't really want to spend too much time because I did write too many notes on this, but high fashion brand Hermes is suing Meta Birkin's NFT for trademark infringement. Hermes filed the suit against Mason Rothschild, the creator of Meta Birkin NFT. If you don't know what Hermes is, it's just a high brand, and one of their main the biggest well-known trademarks they own is Birkin bags, the handbags that cost like $300,000 and stuff. They're just super high fashion luxury handbags. So obviously you can see where the lawsuit's going. Meta Birkins and the Meta Birkins NFT project, the bags look almost identical. And instead of the stamp saying Birkin, it says Meta Birkin.
That's the only difference?
The only difference.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be weird. The lawsuit was filed about 2 weeks ago over trademark infringement. On the surface, it looks kind of hard to deny the fact that it is trademark infringement, but I guess there's like some other stuff going on here. Some people speculate due to the digital nature of NFTs that the trademark infringement case might not hold up, basically saying that, yeah, sure.
Picture.
Well, it's not just, even in a movie, you can't show McDonald's without paying McDonald's. And if you don't, you can have it cease and desist and you have to take the whole movie down.
Huh. Yeah.
Because that's a trademark. That's their logo. You can't do that unless they approve it and you're usually paying, or usually in movies, they're paying to be in there. But so you can't really do that because it's using their trademark they can argue to sell your product. So the same kind of thing. They're using the designs of their bags and all that stuff. So it's like, it does seem to be kind of up in the air because Hermes does own a trademark, but there's some gray area about being digital because they don't actually
they don't make anything in that realm? In
the digital realm. So it's one of those, is it okay? Is it not? But I think Birkin and Hermes is kind of messing up here because they should just release their own set of NFTs. The moment they do that, they win the case.
Oh, yeah, it could be 8-bit pixel art for all that matters.
Well, even if they just did something similar, they just hired one of their graphic designers to do a mock back.
Get one of those right-click crowd people.
Yeah,
Make it real quick.
So so it's going to be interesting. I honestly think it is a bunch of BS. Not for Hermes to sue them. I think the whole concept, I do think this is a violation of intellectual property and trademark law. Think about, companies suing other companies for profiting or exploiting an intellectual property or trademark in TVs, movies, not so much music. But even podcasts, we tried, to do some things and YouTube wouldn't let us upload them.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's all because even that little clip can be said trademark or intellectual property. So one of my shows might be taken down because of that. I'm sure you guys know if you're actually watching every week, but you're not.
But we know you will.
Yeah, exactly. As much as I really want to see a high-end luxury fashion brand like Hermes just get rocked by losing $120,000, that's what
half the price of a bag.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
That's
the thing. That's the other thing people were saying is why are they doing this? Why doesn't Hermes just release NFTs themselves? Dolce and Gabbana released 6 and made $10 million or $6 million or something insane like that off of 6 NFTs.
That tracks.
So you know what I mean? People will buy their crap because of these big high fashion brand names. So I don't know, as much like I said, as much as I want them to get hit with this, I don't think there's solid ground to the defense on this one. I think they're actually going to win this just because there is that gray area and because the whole Metaverse and the NFT stuff is new. It's a new technology. I do think there's a gray area, but if there's some way to prove that Hermes is in the near future trying to do NFTs based off their Birkin trademark and brand, yeah, I think they do have the right to say, no, you can't do that, and which would end up ruining that guy. But I don't think they'll make that move either. I don't think they want to ruin the guy. I think they're going to say, keep your money, but you have to give us all the royalties now. You can't make any more money.
We're going to create our own form of a smart contract.
Yeah. It's called you're going to jail if not. The other big thing too, where I think they shot themselves in the foot, or where Meta Birkins shot themselves in the foot, was it's quoted as saying a tribute to Hermes' most famous handbag. So it's not even like they were trying to hint oh, it's a famous handbag. And like, if you're into high fashion and you're a woman or a man or whatever, you know, and you know about these bags, like, you're going to look and be like, oh, that's a Birkin bag. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, but instead they actually just were like, oh yeah, it's a tribute to the bag. So now the infringement is even more valid in that sense. And also, like I said, the bags are pretty much identical to these things. And I think the issue comes down to how intellectual property and trademark law works. The usual standard is that you can't use more than 10%, or it's in violation, or it's an infringement. Rothschild tries to say that he cites the First Amendment for why he can use the Hermes trademark, kind of like how Warhol used Campbell's.
Yeah.
It's a little different, I feel like, in that sense.
Is it, though?
I mean, in a sense, because the bags are pretty much identical. The only thing that's really different is the name, and it's all because of 4 letters they added. That sounds like they added 10% to make it different, not only used 10%.
Okay.
Whereas like Campbell's, with that whole thing, he wasn't just drawing the Campbell's things. They're like the can, it was a whole big artwork, and there was different colors. He completely changed the whole theme of the can. Wasn't the same red and white with Campbell's. It was Campbell's, and it was all miscolored, and there was like one, and there was multiple. Like, so it changed it and made it different. So I think that's why the First Amendment of that works. Plus, people forget that the First Amendment's really just so the government doesn't stop you, not people, not companies. It's for the government.
That's true.
Not for. He doesn't have a First Amendment right over me. Like, the government. We have the First Amendment right over the government. That's how that actually works. I think people misconstrue some of our constitutional laws, but anyways, not going to go there. Yeah, you know, I'm kind of over talking about this just because like it made me so mad. And again, their marketing too is it says not your mother's Birkin. So I don't know. I think this guy's just he just barked up a wrong tree with this whole thing. And honestly, at the end of the day, nothing is going to happen. Nothing will happen. That guy will walk away with the money, and if the worst thing that I see happening is that guy has to forfeit the royalties to Hermes.
I feel it's going to follow the same way that Quentin Tarantino is going to be going.
Oh, yeah.
Quentin Tarantino is going to walk away with NFT money.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to our NFT discussion this week. We're going to talk about the Metaverse. It's
here.
It is, and it's not going anywhere.
It's weird.
It might be. Anyways, so the question, I was thinking about a couple questions. Maybe, you know, if we get some of you commenting, you can help us pick a discussion topic and take your questions.
We could discuss it.
Yeah. So comment below. So I came up with some questions. What do you think the Metaverse will look like in 5 years, 20 years, and 50 years from now?
Oh wow, those are some very, very big numbers. So
and basically what I'm looking for here is, you know, again, you don't have to go super in depth in it unless you want to, but I just kind of like, it's more of like infancy where you start seeing more implementation in 5 years, 20 years it's like standard, and then 50 years is where do you think it's going to end up?
So I think with the rate of evolution of technology and with the creativity of some of these people that are designing it, I think those numbers are far too large. I think we should really be looking at where is the Metaverse going to be in 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years. And I say that because, like, remember the Beeple thing happened less than a year ago. And that was NFTs then, and now.
No, I get what you're saying, but you don't think in 50 years there's still going to be a Metaverse?
I think in 50 years it's going to be the foundation on which everything operates, and I'm not certain what it'll be called the Metaverse. I think it might be something cleaned up, more businessy, or it might be called the Metaverse. You know, we'll see. But let's get back to it. The internet as we know it will be gone. Web 3.0 will be in our definition, our dictionary. It would be a three-dimensional digital sphere essentially, and like in 50 years from now, everything's going to be so connected that the world as we know it right now, we wouldn't even recognize, man. I can guarantee you that. So like 1, 5, and 10 years when we talk about what the Metaverse as we see it right now looks like.
I'll let you answer it the way you want, and I'll give you my thoughts.
Word.
That's why I specifically put it that way. But go on. I want to hear your thoughts with the 1, 5, and 10.
I think a year from now, the metaverse is going to mature enough to where it's something that people are going to be visiting. When I say that, I mean like it's going to be accessible from every device. So it's not going to be some hyper super realistic World of Warcraft or anything like that. It's going to be something easy enough to access on literally every device, because you're going to want to get all kinds of ownership in it. And what that entails, I don't know yet, but I know that that's going to be the foundation. 5 years from then, it's going to be something that's really matured. And this is where you're going to see real three-dimensional web. So now meeting rooms will have a digital location, so people will meet up. You'll be able to see people in their avatars and stuff like that. But Web 3.0 will exist, and that will be the new normal of communication, of all remote communication. It's going to be weird for a little bit. 10 years from now, I think 10 years from now, I fear that it might be like, so we go on the internet, right? The internet is merely like a tool. Like we're gonna be having this same conversation, like, oh, I tap into the metaverse or whatever nonsense we say, but it's gonna be the equivalent of me saying, oh, I'm going, I need to go on the internet. That's what 10 years from now is gonna be like.
Yeah, I can see that. I feel that it's going to take a little bit longer for some of the development, or like the mass. That's why I did the 5 years, because I do think in 5 years it will be more. That's when it will be on everyone's device, not just on being able to be accessed by every device. I think in 5 years, everyone in some way, shape, or form will be accessing the metaverse, because like you said, it's going to be turning into the internet. And I think that's like that 5 year point is when it's going to start supplanting the internet, because that's the main use of being interconnected through the internet, is going to be accessing the metaverse. And then for me, in 20 years, I think that's when it's going to be full blown. You're going to start seeing the metaverse bleed over into kind of reality. That does take us to another question that I came up with. So I do think like in 20 years, you're going to start seeing like AR technology really coming to the forefront. And who knows? I mean, this might be a hot take, but I think the metaverse might not. Sure, digitally it'll exist, but I think the metaverse will start to bleed over into the real world, where everyone will be, accessing the metaverse in real life through AR technology.
QR codes on literally everything.
Yeah, and so that does lead me into the next question. I mean, and also with the 50 year, I did agree with the way you said it's going to be a completely different world. It's almost hard to. It's impossible to see what that would look like because of the nature of technology and its growth. And I mean, I'm already saying we're going to end up walking around, wearing either in like 20 years, in 50 years for sure. I think we'll have like some sort of cybernetic, like eye implant, or everyone's going to be wearing contacts every day at every moment, because this is going to allow you to access the AR metaverse. So like every sign will be translated into your stuff. And again, this leads to the next question. Is it possible for the metaverse to leave the digital world and join the physical world? And if so, how do you see this playing out? And so that kind of leads me into my answer for that question. So I'll just answer it. Like I said, I think there is a move to that. I mean, Facebook's developing, AR glasses with Ray-Ban. There's all that stuff. And right now it's going to look janky. It's going to look cartoonish. It's going to look stupid. But, 20 years from now, it's going to look smoothed out.
So I'd say once Apple gets into the glasses game.
No, they are. They're already developing.
Then we're close.
Yeah, no, we're developing.
Then we're closer than you think.
No,
because if Apple's making a device.
But what I'm saying, but Apple might be making that device for the next 10 years.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, but that's why I said in 20 years, I think that's when it's going to be smoothed out. People are going to be having glasses, or maybe not contacts yet, but like actual glasses to wear, and everyone will be wearing glasses because it'll allow them to have street signs translated when you travel to another country, or being able to check, like if you're at the grocery store and you look at something and you're looking to buy, and it's like, oh, it's on sale online, you don't need to buy it here, or something like that.
I need something that doesn't make me look like a Borg.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I do think it's possible, and I do think it's coming, and I do also think that it's a way. I think that's going to bridge the gap into making the digital metaverse more acceptable, because there's still people who will never go on the metaverse. Just like there's people who won't get the vaccine, just like there's people who think the earth is flat, just like there's people who, think McDonald's is the healthy choice for some reason. There's dumb people out there. There's, people who have strong opinions that aren't dumb, whatever. So people aren't going to like it. But I think with this, when you start integrating everything like that, you're going to see AR technology bleeding and, allowing the metaverse to bleed into our daily life. I mean, like you said, everyone with QR codes everywhere, or even better yet, could you imagine everyone's just wearing white? And the alien invader would be like, what's wrong with this society?
I mean, it's not really that far-fetched to say, like, I think there have already been enough pieces put out there, and just like the blockchain is nothing more than a series of things we already knew. We just kind of put them together. I think we can extrapolate from stuff like Google Glass and Pokemon Go of how widespread stuff can go. Like, we've already tried this stuff, and like Pokemon Go was augmented reality, albeit no one really turns it on because it drains your battery. But with the appropriate power source, we would have all kept that on, no doubt.
100%.
And like I think we're close.
Yeah,
I think we're a lot closer, and I think the only things standing in our way, it's like power and the device, really.
Yeah, I think you're right on there. I think technology needs to further advance in the power or even power consumption, but I think we need to be able to store more power in smaller devices, or not smaller devices, but in smaller housings.
Yeah, we just got to get more efficient with the power. I have a feeling that once graphene becomes more widespread in its construction, like power, we're going to have the next technological renaissance, and it's going to be more on mobile power. Mark my words, 10 years from now, we will have mastered biological power sources, like living batteries type thing. That's it. This is the way. Living batteries, no doubt.
Yeah. No, like you just use your body as a battery. Is that what you're basically saying?
No, not necessarily.
Are you talking
your body, but
don't go there. No, we're moving on for this question.
All right.
Because I know where you're going with this.
I'm not gonna algae, but humans work well.
And then he went there. He did it, people. All right, so the last question here. I know we've gone pretty long. I think it feels like we've been going for like an hour here. What would the police or other governing bodies look like in the metaverse? Like, would there always be lawlessness? Would it always be lawlessness, or would there be some sort of peacekeeping force?
Is a wonderful question that I have never thought about.
You know what I mean? Like, is there going to be a RoboCop of the metaverse that just comes down and kicks you out of the internet and bans you? And if so, who's governing that guy? Where's the checks and balances? Because we're talking blockchain here, essentially. It's supposed to be decentralized. The moment you add centralization...
Welcome to Decentraland.
But you know what I mean? So, like, what would the police look like? Because imagine if you're in the metaverse and you're able to actually steal something, like from an art gallery. You run there. Who's going to stop you? A hacker? Who?
Ladies and gentlemen, I've just decided to become a rogue on the metaverse.
A metaverse police officer?
The opposite.
A metapopo?
Metapo. I mean, but like, how do you? You're right. Like, how do you police that? Well, do you need to police it though?
That's another question too. Is do you need to police anything? Is there anything like? But I mean, think about it. Like, we're talking metaverse, and what we're talking about is metaverse is more fleshed out. Your avatars
would be.
But what if you can hack someone by seeing them in the metaverse? Because you're able to send them, or even some interacting with them. You're able to hack their stuff and start stealing stuff. Who's going to stop that kind of theft?
Like, in order to steal their stuff, you would have to have access to their wallet. And that would require...
Not necessarily. You can steal their personal information.
That's true. But yeah.
And the personal information, you can completely ruin a person's life.
You can't ruin someone's life with the briefest of information.
Yeah. That's why you got to be careful about what information you put out there. That's why I think the connecting the wallet to Twitter is dumb. Any smart hacker can just hack Twitter and there goes millions of people's personal information. Maybe not their wallet information and steal all their Ethereum, but guess what? When they start running up their credit and ruining their stuff, they're going to have to sell all their crypto just to get out of being $1 million worth of debt. Like it can happen. So that's what I'm saying. Like I mean, obviously we're speaking hypothetically here, and like what would it look like? And I do think you're right. I don't think it's obviously going to be, you know, some RoboCop style person kicking in your door. I hope so. It would be awesome.
Where do I sign up?
Yeah, right. Like some VI, you know, virtual intelligence just coming in to kick your door.
If like 5-year-old me could hear this conversation right now. Guess what you grew up to be, buddy? VR trooper, man. You know?
But you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it would be like that. But I do think there would be some sort of like, but I guess if you're talking about the metaverse, there would be kind of some embodiment of a not military, but of a police force.
VR troopers, baby.
A VR trooper, if you will, probably more of a VI, like a virtual intelligence, you know, like a digital body that's able to stop hackers and throw up firewalls to stop, you know, crime that they
Doesn't
see.
all of that sound like cool attacks, right, guys? Come on, you know, firewall, got you, buddy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it sounds great. I would totally sign up in a second if I could.
Heartbeat. You gotta be my nickname. Heartbeat.
But yeah, so I don't know what it would look like. I really don't, but I feel like it might be something like that. Obviously, it would probably just be a bunch of lines of code in reality, but in the metaverse, would it have a physical body? I don't know. You know, tell us in the comments. I really would love to hear what you guys think about that, because I have no idea. And I would love to have VI troopers kicking in doors to stop, you know, metaverse crime. That just sounds like we were talking about NFT law being a thing. Now we're going to create meta world, metaverse.
By
police.
daytime, I'm an NFT lawyer, but by night,
I am a VR trooper. You know what? That's it for the show today. We're going to end on that note. I don't think we're going to end on anything better. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Rick, for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and comment, and share this video with everybody. Please answer our questions, because I want to talk to you about this. I'm having fun just talking about it right now. And go follow us. Follow me, and yeah, just go follow me at Twitter at NFTs with Keys, as well as my friends at Argyros Crypto. And if you have ADA, go delegate to their pool ticker
AGC.
There you go. They paid me to do that, so
we'll pay you too.
Deuces.
Here I come from the west side.